Good morning, everyone. I'll be conducting the meeting today. Commissioner Klein, President Klein had to leave, and so I'll be conducting the meeting, and I hope we all have a great day. And with that, would we all please stand for a moment of silence and Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'd like to ask for the approval of the April 26, 2022 minutes by motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. 4-0. Thank you. Commissioners' reports and comments. Commissioner Kiefer.
Yes, on Saturday evening, I had an opportunity to attend the Dreams Gala at Sanmar Children's Home. For Sanmar Children's Home, it wasn't at Sanmar. Many worthy people were recognized for their work in the community to help children in need, and in particular, a lady named Ellen Savoy was recognized. My parents were among the first group of parents to be licensed as treatment foster parents while I was growing up. And Ellen was the social worker who trained them and got them licensed. So it was great to see her recognized for a life of good work in the community. So congratulations to Ellen and everyone who was recognized that evening for their good work. That's all.
Thank you. Commissioner Burkett.
I, too, attended the Sanmar Dream Gala hosted by Sanmar Children's Home out at Fountainhead Country Club. And as a former resident of that home, it was nice to participate in an event like that. My wife and I did treatment foster care through Sanmar for about 7 years. And so if you're ever looking at a rewarding way of giving back to your community, I would challenge you maybe to look into the program that Sanmar has. So thank you to Keith Fanjoy and the staff of Sanmar for all you do for our community here. And then just a quick question. A month or two ago, I brought up or expressed thoughts on making sure all municipalities received a copy of our agenda each week. Are they receiving them yet, or can we please get that started? Or I know the city sends us.
Yeah, we talked about that. I don't know. I'll check and make sure, but if not, we'll make sure that happens.
Thank you. That's all for me today.
Thank you, Commissioner Burkett. Commissioner Wagner.
Good morning. Got to stop out at TJ Designs yesterday on Long Meadow Road. 25 years in business. I realized it, but until you get in there and walk around, it's 10,000 square feet of a little bit of everything you can think about. So stop by and check out TJ Designs on Long Meadow Road. Also attended Atkins Auto Repair and Auto Service. So they're out across on the Mason-Dixon Dragway. You might want to stop out there too. It's quite an operation. They do anything as quoted by them as small engines to fire engines and automotive too. So I was just talking to them, getting their prices, and they're very competitive. And then Saturday was the Hospice Radiothon. I did stop out into to Hospice, and I think Commissioner Kiefer was also there on the phone. So I stopped out early for a donation, and I tell you what, they do a wonderful job. They had a whole team of people on the phones, and I think that happened every hour. But they had a good turnout, and there's Hospice in Doey's house is quite a contribution to our community. So next year maybe you can get on board. You don't have to wait till next year. Just get on board with Hospice and them. They do so much, and everybody has a hospice story. There's probably 3/4 of us here that have a hospice story. So anyway, that's all I have.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for attending our commissioners meeting. And I did make it to the viewing of former County Commissioner Paul Swartz, who served our community many, many years as an elected position in the as a county commissioner, as well as a coach, educator in Washington County. And please keep your thoughts and prayers with his family. He was a pillar in our community. And also, I saw with us today here another former county commissioner, Linda Irving Craig. Always like to try to welcome our former county commissioners or others that are in attendance, and I see former delegate Brett Wilson here. So I want to thank you all for attending our meeting today. And Linda, did you didn't serve with Paul, did you? Were you before Paul? Okay. Yeah, I was just sitting here thinking about that. So that concludes my comments, and we'll move it into staff comments. Do we have any staff in the chambers here that would care to participate? Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Deborah Kondo, Deputy Director of Human Resources. I am here to request permission to hire Christopher Amos for the position of Educational Programs Administrator. This is a grade 15 position.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Thank you, Commissioners.
4-0. Thank you. Good morning.
Brandy Nagelbauer for the Purchasing Department. Last week, I came before the board with a recommendation for the bid award PUR 1536 for the roof replacement at various county parks for the bathrooms and the pavilions. The recommended motion was awarded, but after I started processing the final paperwork for it, I noticed that there was an error in the bid. I presented that to be awarded to Reese, which we still want to do. The amount presented was $131,187. It actually was $133,187. This was budgeted in their CIP budget. So today, I'm just asking for a corrected motion for that award.
And your recommendation is still for Reese?
Absolutely.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 4-0. Thank you. Any other staff in the chambers care to provide information? Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, very well, thank you. Kelsey Mays, Interim Chief Financial Officer. So yesterday, the property tax notice was published in the paper, and I wanted to take a moment to offer some clarification for the public. Due to the way the state dictates how the ad must be written, it does claim that there will be a tax increase for 4 of our municipalities. This is because the proposed tax rate of the .803, which is the new differential based on the 2-cent reduction, is more than the constant yield rate for those 4 municipalities. For the rest of the municipalities in the county, the proposed reduced tax rate falls below the constant yield and did not need to be included in the ad. So I just wanted to come and offer that clarification.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other staff in the chambers? Mr. Downey?
Nothing this morning.
Ms. Hart?
No, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Margarana?
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. Just a few items. Just wanted to make sure everybody was aware that the public hearing, public budget hearing and tax rate hearing for FY23 is scheduled for Tuesday, May 17th at 6 p.m. at Kepler Theater in Hagerstown Community College. Second thing I want to mention, it is Teacher Appreciation Week, and I think it's Teacher Appreciation Day today, I believe, but it's the week. So I just wanted to show, mention the county's appreciation to all the teachers in Washington County, public and private. They do a great job for our community. I just wanted to point that out. And one minor thing, just a minor change to our commissioner schedule that's been released. We did not have a meeting scheduled for June 28th because that was primary day. Now that has been moved to July 19th. So my recommendation is to go ahead and have a regularly scheduled meeting on June 28th and then not have a meeting on July 19th, which is the new primary date. So
I'm good.
if you're okay with that.
Yep.
When's Mako?
It's usually in August.
It's in August.
Okay.
It's in
Second
August.
week of August.
Right. So this just, so we will actually have, because the way the schedule was originally set up, there were 3 weeks in a row we were not meeting, June 21st, June 28th, and July 5th because of the primary and because of the 4th of July. But now we can have a meeting on the 28th of June and then not have one on July 19th. So
I'm
so
okay.
we'll put out a new schedule that indicates that.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Okay. Last chance, any staff members have anything to provide to the commissioners? Okay, moving forward, citizens' participation. We have any citizens in the front row that would care to participate? Please come forward. I'm sorry, oh, I thought Tom was coming up here. Go ahead. Citizens' participation.
Good morning. My name is Bill Williams, resident of Washington County. I come before the board today advocating for the members to put on the agenda to allocate funds for our law enforcement officers. These funds would reinstate our officers' Bill of Rights that has been stripped away from them by our lawmakers in Annapolis. The bills HB 260 and HB 670, which I have copies here I'll leave for the members. Through a company I've partnered with, they would provide our officers with attorneys to fight for law enforcement. This will allow our officers who are considering leaving the force or who are civilians that are considering law enforcement as a career, to know that they will be protected by an agency. Our officers will be able to do their job and perform their duties without hesitation. I've been in attendance for the last few meetings. I've witnessed money allocated for businesses, organizations, and for celebrations in our town. In my opinion, none of this will matter if our law enforcement in Washington County cannot and will not perform their duties without apprehension due to the loss of their Bill of Rights. With our crime in our county rising, I see no end in sight without our law enforcement. This is but another attempt to defund our police by lawmakers in Annapolis. This is a chance for the board to right a wrong and show the taxpayers for our county we stand for the people of our county. Once again, I'm requesting that this be put on the agenda for this board to vote on and allocate these funds. I'd be more than happy at a future session to bring forward the members of the organization, and we can discuss all the numbers and everything at a future time. And I thank everybody for their consideration in this matter, and I'll leave these copies here for. Thank you.
Thank you, Billy.
Thank you. Any other citizens in the front row care to participate? Please come forward. Good morning, how are you? Please state your name and address, if you will.
Good morning. Justin Holder, 308 West Chaplain Street, 305C. I just came in to tell the Board of Washington County Commissioners I really appreciate all the hard work you guys do for the public. I know it's a hard job. I know there's a lot of citizens that have special needs, and you guys do your best to help all the citizens out. I just talked to a few of the commissioners before the meeting, and like 99% of the time, you guys are doing a great job, and I'm supportive of you. And every citizen's got that 1%, and I know you guys are working on it, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else in the front row care to participate? Second row? Third row? Any row? Okay, thank you. That concludes citizens' participation. Moving along, are we okay to move along to the proclamation there, Mr. Martirana?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to proclamation recognizing May 2022 as Preservation Month. Board of County Commissioners, to Megan Jenkins, Geographic Information Systems Coordinator, Historic District Commission. Please share with us anything and everything.
Good morning, Commissioners. Megan Jenkins, GIS Coordinator with Washington County Planning and Zoning. I also work as the staff for the Historic District Commission. And before you today is the Preservation Month Proclamation. Preservation Week, started in 1973, and in 2005, the National Trust extended that to the entire month. This year's national theme is People Saving Places, and historic place savers pour their time and energy and resources into protecting places that they care about, often without recognition. So Preservation Month 2022, at the national level and here, is for them. A national high five to everyone doing great work and saving places in the hopes that it will inspire and empower others to do the same. A vast majority of the historic resources here in Washington County are privately owned and cared for by citizen stewards. During Preservation Month, the Historic District Commission has planned some social media outreach with weekly themes with information for the public. Many local organizations, museums, and historic societies have events this month and beyond. So we just encourage citizens to interact with us and those organizations during Preservation Month. And I believe Miss Irving Craig is here today, so I'd just like to acknowledge her as well. If you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer.
Questions, Commissioners?
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'd like to ask Mr. Burkett to present the proclamation, please. Charlie, get the gentleman there to join as well.
Did you want to join us?
That's Mr. History.
So the Board of Washington County Commissioners would like to present you with this proclamation. It says, whereas historic preservation is an effective tool for managing growth and sustainable development, revitalizing neighborhoods, fostering local pride, and maintaining community character while enhancing livability. And whereas historic preservation is relevant for communities across the nation, both urban and rural, and for Americans of all ages, all walks of life, and all ethnic backgrounds. And whereas it is important to celebrate the role of history in our lives and the contributions made by dedicated individuals in helping to preserve the tangible aspects of heritage that has shaped us as a people. And whereas the sharing of knowledge between historic tradespersons, historians, museums, and citizens is essential for the appreciation and continued existence of historical resources. And whereas historic preservation is supported by the Washington County Historic District Commission, Washington County Historical Advisory Committee, and many other state and local preservation efforts. And now, therefore, we, the Board of County Commissioners of Washington County, Maryland, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2022 as Preservation Month in Washington County, and urge all citizens to join their fellow citizens across the United States in recognizing and participating in this special observance, awarded this third day of May 2022.
Thank you. Well read. Yeah. And while we're getting ready for the photo, just want to remind you all that we have this big event coming up on May 18th, and we're going to be awarding 6 wonderful projects in this community who have done excellent work with preservation. And it's 6 because we're catching up. COVID kept us away from this event for 2 years. So this year, anyway, thank you so much.
What's the date?
May 18th, it's Wednesday.
We're going to do one with all the commissioners.
Oh, okay, up here.
Yes.
Good job.
They're not folded, but do you want them?
I can't take them, I can't carry them.
Okay. It's just a small Yeah, just a little bit. Can everybody just shift? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Do you want to do that? Okay, here we go. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, next, proclamation recognizing, before I start, you all expecting any others to attend this proclamation presentation? A proclamation recognizing May 2022 as Drug Court Month. Board of County Commissioners, to Jennifer Bricker. She's the Drug Court Coordinator, Circuit Court for Washington County. Gray Barton, Director of Office of Problem Solving. Kristen Grossnickel, Court Administrator, Circuit Court for Washington County. And also attending is Judge Wilson. So we do have a proclamation. If you all have some information that you'd like to provide to the commissioners, or... Welcome.
Thank you. We did open our drug court program in June of 2019 after about a year of preparation and research and writing our application. Since that time, we've had, I believe, over 112 referrals to our program now. We've accepted 42 and currently have 35 participants. Also, we had to get through COVID, so that really caused some changes with our program, but I'm happy to say that after a lot of hard work, we're about ready to celebrate 6 of our graduates who've successfully made it through the program and have a substantial amount of sobriety under their belt when we have our celebration. So we're really happy to see that. And I just wanted to thank all of you for your support throughout the years of the program. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to get some more information to you soon so that maybe we can meet and talk about it and teach you a little bit more about what we're doing over there. So, thank you.
And I'd like to also join in thanking you for the support that you've given to the program. These are statewide programs now. Gray Barton oversees dozens of programs that are not just on drug court, but they have, of course, military veterans courts, mental health courts. They've expanded to try and get to the root causes of some of the problems that we see in the criminal justice system. If we can take out the motivating factors that keep people in that cycle, we can take people out of the cycle and get them back to be tax-paying, productive citizens. And the 6 people that are getting ready to graduate have all proven themselves to be good citizens and on a path for a lifetime of sobriety. And we're very thankful for all that you have done to help us get this program established. The statistics will come in time, but until we get there, the people are the most important, and we are helping people. So thank you.
I'd like to extend an invitation to all of you too. On May the 20th at 11 a.m., we're going to be celebrating that graduation ceremony and a small reception following. I have invitations here for you, but it's going to be held at the University Plaza.
Yes, sir.
What was that time?
11 a.m.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyone with you have any comments for us?
Mr. Barton, would you please come up and just add comments about the statewide system?
Thank you, Judge Wilson. Thank you. Gray Barton, I am the director for the Office of Problem Solving Courts. I work for the Maryland Judiciary and oversee all 60 problem solving courts for the state of Maryland. And I wanted to come here for this because though they are statewide programs, we have, from Somerset County to Allegheny County, we have drug courts, mental health courts, veterans treatment courts, and the like. It really starts here at the county level with the grassroots growing and the participation from, all the team players. If you, hopefully you come to the graduation, you'll see prosecutor, defense attorneys, treatment professionals, probation, obviously the court system, and many others that participate in these programs. And that, as Judge Wilson said, getting to the root cause. And so, again, I thank you from a state perspective that this is really where the rubber meets the road, is at this level. And the appreciation from county commissioners is just, that's what I live for, because I know I can't do things from Annapolis as well as you can here in Washington County. So thank you all.
Mr. Barton, did you say there was 60 drug courts in Maryland?
There's 60 problem-solving courts. So that's drug courts, mental health courts, veterans treatment courts, truancy courts, we have various types of problem-solving courts.
Okay. That's pretty cumulative over time, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, I started, actually this year will be 20 years, started with the Maryland Judiciary, and when I started there were 9 drug courts at that time. And so in those 20 years we've grown. Again, the judiciary has really taken that lead to say that we need to get to that root cause, not just incarcerate our way out of any of the drug problems or mental health problems as well.
Thank you. Any other comments, commissioners? Okay,
I'll be presenting your proclamation today, but I'd just like to thank Judge Wilson and your team for instituting this in Washington County. I know you were a strong advocate for it. While the statistics may be early, it seems like from information I've received, it's more cost-effective, as you said, than other forms of punishment like incarceration, and with better results and good results for our community. So it's a plague invading our communities, but this is probably one of the best tools that we have right now. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Any other comments, commissioners? Okay, for myself, I'd like for y'all to go up and have Commissioner Kiefer present the proclamation to you.
How are you? Scoot you on down. Get you all in here. Your proclamation has more whereases than Commissioner Burkett's, just so you know. Drug Court Month, May 2022. Whereas treatment courts have been restoring lives and families for more than 3 decades, and whereas there are now nearly 4,000 treatment courts nationwide, and whereas treatment courts are the cornerstone of justice reform sweeping the nation, and whereas treatment courts have served more than 1.5 million individuals, and whereas they are now recognized as the most successful justice system intervention in our nation's history, and whereas they save an average of $6,000 for every individual they serve, and whereas treatment courts significantly improve substance use disorder treatment outcomes, substantially reduce addiction and related crime, and do so at less expense than any other criminal justice strategy, and whereas treatment courts improve education, employment, housing, and financial stability, promote family reunification, reduce foster care placements, and increase the rate addicted mothers deliver babies who are fully drug-free, and whereas treatment courts facilitate community-wide partnerships, bringing together public safety and public health, and whereas treatment courts demonstrate that when one person rises out of substance use and crime, we all rise. I like that statement. Now, therefore, we, the Board of County Commissioners of Washington County, Maryland, do hereby proclaim the month of May 22 as Drug Court Month in Washington County and urge all citizens to join across the United States in recognizing and participating in the special observance. Signed by all 5 commissioners and our county clerk.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The only thing I may not be able to move forward with is if check with Boggs to see if any of those people are coming. If not, we can just run it
Jennifer,
on.
you have a. Oh, that looks great. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you all for that. Moving right along, intergovernmental cooperative purchase, INTG-22-0086, Courthouse House Security, Mr. Curry and Ms. Grossnick. How are you
Curry,
today?
Director of Purchasing.
Christine Grossnickel, Circuit Court Administrator.
Subject before you is Intergovernmental Cooperative Purchase, INTG 22-0086, Courthouse Security. Recommended motion to authorize a resolution, the approval for the Circuit Court to enter into a contract for the purchase and installation of Tier 1, which has X-ray machine, magometer, access control system, duress alarm, camera system, audio-visual intercom, at a cost of $145,739.68, Also Tier 2, which includes a building alarm, bulletproof resistant barriers, fenced and restricted parking, prisoner sally port, and also Tier 3, which is an emergency intercom at a cost of $280,624.18 for the total sum and amount of $426,363.86 from Skyline Technology Solutions LLC of Glen Burnie, Maryland, and to utilize another jurisdiction's contract that was awarded by Carroll County Office of Procurement on February 24th of 2022. This board and the Administrative Courts, Office of the Courts entered into an MOU to have this work done, and the Code of Public Laws does allow for this board to enter into a contract that was procured by another jurisdiction. The savings is that we would not have to go through full cycle of procurement and evaluation of the bids. Funds are available for this project. We have concurrence from the Office of Security Administration, and you also have Skyline's quote attached.
Hey, Rick, just a curious question. I know it's been a year or two, hasn't it? And maybe it's just me, time not flying or flying, whatever. Didn't we do, you said bullet-resistant barriers. Didn't we do glass at one time? Is this something different or same thing, or?
This is a different project. This, the tiers, that's just everything they cover. This project is for an upgraded and new camera system and for, to replace and update the access control panels, and intercom system for the.
Yeah, I support. I was just curious.
Yeah, we have done bullet-resistant glass in a few other areas, with some other grants.
Yes, you are correct.
Okay, any other questions, commissioners? If none, need a motion to proceed.
Motion to approve.
Motion and a second for the recommended motion. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. 4-0. Thank you. Next, bid award PUR-1537, laboratory services for water, wastewater testing for the Department of Water Quality. Brandy Noggle, Davina Yutzi.
Randy Nagelbauer for the Purchasing Department.
Mark Bradshaw, Director of Environmental
Sorry about
Management.
that, Mark.
No, it was last minute change. Davina wasn't able to be here.
Okay, thank you.
The recommendation I have for you this morning is the bid award PUR-1537, laboratory services for water, wastewater testing for the Department of Water Quality. The recommendation is to award the bid for laboratory services for water and wastewater testing for the Department of Water Quality to the responsive bidder, Pace Analytical out of Greensburg, Pennsylvania, who submitted the lowest annual total bid sum of $77,566. The scope of the services are to be provided by the contractor includes the pickup, preservation, and transport of the samples from the Department of Water Quality twice weekly. The contract is for a period of 1 year with the option for the county to renew up to 2 consecutive one-year terms. It was tentatively to begin May 1st of 2022. The quantities within the bid are estimated quantities only. This is a requirements contract and will be utilized on an as-need basis. We guarantee no minimum or maximum on this bid. The bid was advertised on the State of Maryland, eMaryland Marketplace Advantage website, the county's website, and the local newspaper. 21 companies downloaded the document. 5 were in attendance at the pre-bid. 1 bid was received on March 30th, 2022. Funding is available in the Department of Water Quality's operating budget for these services.
Questions, commissioners, comments? If none, motion to move forward with the recommended motion.
Motion to approve.
Need a second? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 4-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, the 1050 agenda item has been pulled. So, can I see Mr. Albert? Oh, there he is. How did I miss you? There you are. Okay, Marilyn, are you expecting anyone else to be with you today? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hotel rental tax funding request, the house on, never mind. Maryland 911 Board, approval to submit application and accept awarded funding. Now I'm on track.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Susan Buchanan, Director, Office of Grant Management, and with me is Brian Albert, Emergency Communications Center Operations. We're here this morning to request a motion to approve the submission of a grant application to the Maryland 911 Board in the amount of $439,002 and accept funding as awarded for a new Inform Solution server. This server will support playback and preservation of all audio recordings at the various locations of the county's 911 center. The Office of Grant Management has reviewed the funding request and has determined this request is consistent with the Maryland 911 Systems Board's purpose. There is no matching funds requirement associated with the request. Have anything to add, Brian?
No, if approved, we'll go before the 911 Board in the month of May. It'll be the last Thursday in May to request the funding.
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? 4-0. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We'll go into closed session.
Closed session's gonna be about 40 minutes.
Use some, come out.
That's 25, about 25 minutes.
Is Lindsay, do we have to wait for others?
We have to? I don't think we have to wait. I mean, I don't.
Anyone else attending with you today? Okay, so
She's right there behind you.
if commissioners are all right, we'll move to the,
Oh, there's Chris.
There's Chris too,
Okay.
so
So
go
we
ahead
go
and do
vote.
Chris first.
you expecting anyone to be present with you today?
long today.
Do you, I don't know if you heard what are you expecting anybody to be here?
No.
For your, just you?
Nope, just me.
Okay, so we're back on schedule. Chris Boggs, Rural Preservation Administrator. How are you today?
Doing well. How are you doing, Commissioners? This is the Rural Legacy Program of the Rancho Grande LLC property. It actually consists of 3 parcels down in Roarsville, Knoxville area. The property is significant because it's a pretty historic property. It's got the DNR rails, the trails running on one side. It's in the view shed of both the Elk Ridge and the Battle of Crampton's Gap. It also itself contains a historic house and historic spring house. So it's a pretty good one as far as history is considered. Also, it buffers the Israel Creek and 2 of its tributaries. Further, it is contiguous to essentially thousands of acres of already preserved ground in that area around the battlefield and the rural legacy area. This property is going to buffer 6,200 linear feet of stream, and will be extinguishing 13 development rights with this easement. So the Rural Legacy Program, as we know, is funded by DNR, and we've been doing that since 1998 and have preserved over 8,000 acres of land through the program and counting. The funds are 100% state dollars, and the county receives 3% of the easement value for administrative costs and 1.5% for compliance and monitoring costs of the easement. The board, the State Rural Legacy Board, approves of our program, and they are eager about this project. Of course, if the county rejects the funds, they'll be allocated to other counties in the state. The recommended motion is to approve the Rancho Grande LLC Rural Legacy Easement Project in the amount of $650,720 for 186.92 easement acres. Any questions?
Chris, as always, I have a curious question.
Yeah.
You said that it'll extinguish 13 development rights.
Yes.
How does that, why 13 and not just 7
There are 3 parcels,
different parcels?
3
Okay.
different parcels on this property.
Okay.
So when you count up the development rights associated with each individual parcel, the total comes to 13.
Yeah, I'm motion to approve.
All 3 parcels total 186.
That's correct, 186.92 acres.
So we have a motion, need a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brooks.
Thanks, Chris.
Okay, next, County Commissioners of Washington County Public Improvement Bonds of 2022, authorizing resolution. Lindsay Rader and Kelsey Mays. Welcome, you two.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
There's a resolution before you this morning to approve a maximum aggregate principal amount of not to exceed $17,045,000 in order to finance or reimburse costs of certain educational, environmental, infrastructure, and public safety projects. This resolution is very similar to the resolution you adopted last year when we did a new money financing only. We had been anticipated doing a companion refunding with these new money bonds, but the market has moved the wrong way, and we backed away from doing the refunding because it would not have resulted in any cost savings to the county. The bonds will mature no later than July 1, 2042. The bonds will be sold by public sale at competitive bid, as is your standard procedure for your general obligation bonds. Bidders will have the ability to designate serial and/or term bonds. The first maturity will be no earlier than July 1, 2023. Principal payment dates will be July 1, and interest payment dates will be January 1 and July 1, starting January 1, 2023. The county will have the ability to redeem bonds at its option in whole or in part on any date on or after July 1, 2032. So there's an approximately 10-year call protection provision. But once you reach that date, you can redeem the outstanding bonds in any order of maturity that you choose, and it will be at par, so with no premium or penalty. The resolution contains standard provisions regarding the book entry registration of the bonds, the transfer or exchange of bonds. Manufacturers and Traders Trust Company will serve as the bond registrar and paying agent, as it has for all of your series of publicly offered bonds for many years. We will, as has been the case for the last several years, you delegate to the interim chief financial officer, and let me stop, the resolution refers to the chief financial officer throughout, but recognizes that if there is no permanent chief financial officer at the time, the interim chief financial officer has the authority to take the actions delegated to the chief financial officer. The authority to award the bonds. The county will publish a summary notice of sale in a newspaper of general circulation, the Herald Mail, not more than 10 days before the sale. We anticipate the sale being on May 24th and closing on June 7th. The sale mechanics are set forth in the resolution. They don't differ from prior years. The county has decided to pay all costs of issuance other than underwriter's discount from cash on hand. So once bids come in on May 24th, the financial advisor will work with county staff to readjust the principal amount of the bonds, and they will likely be issued in a par amount of less than $17,045,000 based on premium received from the winning bidder. And the bonds will be sized only to cover project costs and the underwriter's discount of the winning bidder. The resolution contains the pledge of the county's full faith and credit and unlimited taxing power to payment of the bonds, contains standard covenants regarding the county's taking the actions necessary to maintain the tax-exempt status of the bonds, approves the substantially final form of the preliminary official statement that was included in your package, and authorizes the president of the board and the chief financial officer to approve the final form of the official statement, which will contain the sale terms. And the county agrees, as it always does for its publicly offered bonds, to enter into a continuing disclosure agreement pursuant to which it will provide certain annual financial information and operating data and notice of the occurrence of certain enumerated events that might be required by SEC Rule 15C212. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? If none, we need to have a motion to approve the resolution.
Motion to approve the resolution.
Need a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 4-0. Thank you very much.
Nice to see you all.
Okay, I think I've covered everything on today's open session agenda. I don't believe I've missed anything, so with that, we'll need a motion to go into closed session for reasons stated.
Motion to go in closed session.
Second.
A motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? 4-0.